Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Squad project team at the Seoul National University and collaborative with our esteemed co-organizers from the 25th Inter-University Symposium on Asian Megacities, it's my privilege to welcome you to the first Korea-Mongolia Urban Forum. Today, I'm going to be your beloved host. My name is Ulaanbaatar. Nice to meet you. Before the main session, I would like to introduce our distinguished guests, Mr. Do Yuk-kwon, from the former Director of Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport. Please greet to the audience. Do Yuk-kwon. Mr. Dong-ju Kim, former Director of Research Institute for Human Settlements. He is also going to be our keynote speaker. And then Seok-ho Lee from Dongwa Engineering. I'm sorry for pronunciation. Young In Kwon, former Director of Korea Transport Research Institute. Hee Chang Kim, Hyundai Rotem. Hee Chang Kim. Okay, then Jung Yeon Park, KRTC. Jung Yeon, please. And Yi Hang-kyung from Samsung C&T, also. And Jung Hwan-chun from Korea Road Traffic Authority. Okay. To begin with the main session before, I would like to show a small introduction video of Ulaanbaatar.
Монгол улсын нийслэл Улаанбаатараас ярьж байна. Хотын 400 орчим жилийн түүхтэй. Одоо туул голын хөвөнд 4 улсаар хүрээлэгдмээр шүү дээ. Улаанбаатар хот нь уламжилт нүүдэлчдийн соёл иргэншил болон орчин үеийн их хотын хэмнэлийг хослуулан хөгжиж байгаа нийслэл юм. Нийслэл Улаанбаатар хотод ирснээр түүх соёлын дурсгал, барилга байгууламж, хөшөө, дурсгал, сүм, хийд олныг харж байна.
Thank you for your patience. Now we are opening our main section of the first Korea-Mongolia Urban Forum towards the sustainable urban development in Mongolia, challenges and opportunities. We would like to invite our first keynote speaker, Ms. Professor Lee In-ging. Please come to the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to introduce the first Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum. Even though we started 2 sessions this morning, I have to explain about the background of this forum and also our project happening in Mongolia. This slide shows Mongolia and Korea. Actually, Mongolia is not far from Korea, only 1900 kilometers away from Seoul. And Mongolia is quite big country compared with Korea. So compared to Korea, Mongolia is 15 times, but the population is just 1/15. So the density is only 2 persons per square kilometer in Mongolia. But Korea is very, very highly densely populated country, over 500 per person per square kilometer. So Ulaanbaatar is 1.6 million or 1.7 million. So their share is almost half of the total population. But as like Mongolia and Korea is also highly populated in capital area. In capital area is 49%, 25 million. Yes, staying in this capital area. So Mongolia is a traditionally nomadic country, but is getting urbanized. So as you can see in this slide, urban population is more than 2 million. So around 70% of the population, they are living in urbanized area in Mongolia. So capital city Ulaanbaatar is 1.6 million in 2022, but it's getting larger and larger. But the problem is, like other cities in developed countries, they suffer various urban problems. So Ulaanbaatar is spread out. They are experiencing urban sprawl. So you are now seeing the Gary area they are building their dwellings without proper urban infrastructure. And also they suffer traffic jam. It's very, very severe, more than you expected, I think. Very severe traffic jam. And also pollution. So one of the most polluted metropolitan area in the world, particularly during winter time, due to the heavy traffic jam and also heating. And also disaster. So they had quite frequent rain last year, and they suffered flooding in the central area. And also this year, they suffered flooding in the residential area. And also socially, they are suffering income gaps between the poor people and rich people. They are experiencing various urban problems in Ulaanbaatar area. How to solve this problem? Of course, a lot of international banks or foreign government, they are aiding Mongolian government to solve these problems. But Seoul National University and also Mongolian University of Science and Technology, we developed our program to addressing these urban challenges through training Mongolian experts in urban development. So the best way, but even though it takes some time, is to have highly trained Mongolian people to solve these urban problems. So we Our target is sustainable, safe, and smart city with Seoul National University. So we took 4S from these sentences. So we developed S-Quad project. S-Quad project is a professional capacity building in urban development. We started 2022 until 27. So Korean government provide $5 million for this project through KOICA. And Seoul National University and Mongolian University of Science and Technology, we are working together to create a department of planning and engineering at MUST, and also capacity building for the practitioners, and also building urban cooperation network between the two countries. That is our main target of this project. For the academic program, I'll briefly explain to you. We started 2002, some preparation works, and we started master's program last year. So we took 18 students for master's degrees last year, and third semester will begin this semester. This year, we accredited bachelor's degree course and doctoral course. So first, undergraduate student will join us this September. So one of our target is building urban cooperation network. That will be through this kind of urban forum. So to share our knowledge and urban development experience in Korea, we promote, so urban cooperation between the two countries. This Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum is one of our, effort to promote this knowledge sharing. The vision of our forum is building sustainable, smart, and safe cities through shared knowledge and experiences. So our mission of this forum is to knowledge sharing and capacity building, and for sustainable development, and joint research and development, and policy advocacy and implementation through various activities. So activities will be annual meetings with rotating hosts between Korea and Mongolia. So next year, Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum will be held in Ulaanbaatar. And some workshops, panel discussions, and site visit, and working groups focusing on specific urban challenges. So participants, we will invite urban planning experts, government officials, and academics from Korea and Mongolia. So this forum will be beneficial, to enhance urban planning in both countries, and the better policy making, and the stronger bilateral relations. So first, Korea-Mongolia Forum, the theme is toward sustainable urban development in Mongolia, challenges and opportunities. So Seoul National University, together with Inter-University Symposium on Asian Megacities here in Gyeonggi University. So we have 2 sessions already, and our main session is now begun. Thank you for your attention, and also I'd like to invite Professor Kim. Yeah. So please, thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your brief introduction, Professor Lee. And now we would like to invite our second presenter, Dong-Jo Kim, from CEO of the Korea Research Institute from Home Settlements. Please come to the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor to give a presentation at this first Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum. And I also appreciate Professor Lee In-gun to give a chance to presentation today. I would like to present on urbanization policy in Korea and direction for sustainable urban development. There is not much time for presentation. I'll so briefly explain the key point on each page. As you know, industrialization based on export-oriented policy is the main driver of Korean economic development. From labor-intensive light industry in 1970s and heavy and chemical industries in 1980s, and followed by fostering of IT, AI, bio industry recently. In connection with industrialization and urbanization, nationwide arterial transportation network and infrastructure were constructed gradually. This was carried out under the long-term comprehensive national territorial development plan. During Korea's rapid economic growth, its urbanization rate was among the fastest in the world. The urbanization rate increased 53% in 1970 to 90% in 2010. This number is sometimes a little bit different from according to statistics, but usually 90% in urbanization rate in Korea recently. Nobel Prize laureate in economics, Professor Paul Romer emphasized that not only industrialization, but also urbanization played a significant role driving Korea's high and rapid economic growth. We can observe from the graph as Korea's urbanization rate increased, economic growth also increased simultaneously. It suggests that the future of national economy depends on how urbanization is managed. Urbanization might bring a positive effect, such as economic growth and increase of quality of life. Meanwhile, also bring negative effect, which was mentioned just minutes ago before by Professor Lee, such as traffic jam, urban sprawl, pollution, disaster, income gap. And therefore, urban growth management with the sustainability is a very important issue. So I'd like to talk about these issues briefly together. I would like to briefly introduce Korea's urban development strategy. In conjunction with industrialization policy, as I just mentioned before, strategic industries such as electronics, steel, automobiles were strategically located in major cities nationwide. Additionally, free trade zones, science park were also located and fostered in key cities. Another main strategy was to promote cities as growth pole. Korean government has concentrated investment in selected major cities across the nation with growth potentials, aiming to maximize investment efficiency. However, furthermore, Korean government also has moved government functions and public institutions to the local cities in the nations. However, demonstrating the speed of effect of growth in surrounding cities and also achieving the balanced national development were not easy in a short period. As the urban agglomeration continues to increase, urban growth management measures has been implemented. The green belt were established in metropolitan cities to restrain unplanned urban expansion and preserve natural environment. Additionally, facility causing population concentration, such as factories, universities in the capital region are regulated. In response to rapid urbanization, urban population concentration, efforts were made to expand housing supply and stabilize housing market by constructing residential towns within cities. And additionally, new towns were gradually built on the outskirts of metropolitan cities. To ensure the execution of development project, implementation mechanism was also established. Major approach included the internalization of development gains and the securing land for development through the land acquisition in public development. And development gains were utilized for provision of basic urban service such as roads and schools. And the relevant legislation was enacted to promote and support housing and urban development. Despite the urban growth management policy implemented in response to rapid urbanization and concentration in capital region continued and widening regional disparities. And on the other hand, new challenges in economic, social, and environmental fields are becoming significant variables influencing future urban development. Therefore, new paradigms and strategies are needed to enhance sustainable urban development. A significant challenge specific to Korea is rapid population decline and demographic changes. While Mongolia's population issues may not be similar to that of the other country, it remains a significant issues that require attention to mitigate potential socioeconomic impact in the future. In Korea, with population decline, the rise in single and two-person household, along with the aging population, has a substantial impact on housing supply strategies and urban service provisions. Another challenge involves ensuring sustained economic development. Korea's per capita income increased from $10,000 in 1994 to $34,000 last year. However, Korea's economic growth rate has been gradually declining, posing a significant challenge for continuous urban development. Securing innovative growth drivers has become particularly important for ensuring continuous growth and enhancing quality of life in cities and countries. Digital transformation, rapid advancement of information and communication technology, such as IoT, big data, and AI are bringing about significant changes across the economy and society as a whole. Consequently, effectively leveraging these challenges, opportunities in urban development has become more crucial than ever. Wherever we live, a common challenge we are experiencing is climate change. Cities consume over 60% of world energy and contribute more than 70% of global CO2 emissions. Therefore, prioritizing initiatives for sustainable cities plays a crucial role in achieving climate neutrality. Next, let me explain the direction for sustainable urban development. According to UN Habitat, sustainable development is a concept that encompasses economic, social, environmental dimensions. You can see in the left-hand side figure. Therefore, sustainable urban development, as you can see in the right-hand side of figure, involves effectively implementing this three-dimensional aspect in urban area. To be more specific, I would like to suggest, firstly, we need to develop cities into more innovative and smart to respond to population decline, economic downturn, and digitalization. Secondly, We should foster inclusive cities to address widening income and regional disparities that accompany urbanization. Thirdly, city must evolve into carbon neutral and resilient urban environment to effectively respond to climate change. Through these directions and strategies, we can enhance the sustainability of cities. First, let me consider the role of city in terms of innovation. In the past, cities served primarily as a center of industry, such as a factory. However, in the contemporary era, city plays a crucial role as a center of innovation. Therefore, Richard Baldwin argued that cities are now the 21st century factories. Low growth, demographic shift, stagnation in urbanization, and diminished development demand require new paradigm. Transitioning from input-based quantitative growth to innovative urban growth can achieve by developing city-specific key industries, improving urban settlements, and implementing deregulation measures. With the advent of digital transformation, cities should progress toward utilizing innovative technologies actively to enhance quality of life for children, foster new industries, and improve sustainability. Through the Smart City initiative, we can ensure citizens' safety, reduce time and cost associated with urban activities, and create new opportunities across sectors such as mobility, tourism, healthcare, education, and energy. During the process of the urbanization, the benefit does not equally reach all the citizens. Therefore, it is crucial to consider marginalized citizen and area in the city must be considered. For the cities to be inclusive, policy considerations are required across spatial, second, social, and economically important. To enhance spatial inclusion, accessibility to housing and infrastructure needed to increase by providing affordable housing. We talked about in the morning session, and transportation service and basic urban services. For the social inclusion, it is essential to improve life of marginalized citizens to promote their participation, and also community-driven development also important. To enhance economic inclusion, opportunities such as job creation, technical education need to be expanded. This also linked with urban development, I mentioned later. To achieve sustainable urban development, it is crucial to minimize carbon emission environmentally. This restructuring should aim for carbon neutrality encompassing aspects from household to urban land use, transportation, industry, energy, and beyond. In addition, it is very important to enhance resilience against increasing climate-related disasters, such as heat waves, heavy rainfalls, and pollutions. Based on discussion so far, I would like to make some few suggestions. To achieve sustainable urban development, the adoption of a compact network strategy, spatial strategy can be very valuable alternatives. This approach advocates concentrating urban functions in specific area rather than dispersing development across wide areas. Thereby, this can economically and environmentally be optimizing roles can be done. This compact and network strategy can be applied across the community, intra-urban, and inter-urban dimensions. I think this concept is well applied in the Mongolia, I think. At the community level within city, concentration basic urban service such as residential, education, cultural, and welfare service in one location can be more effective than dispersing them. Usually different ministry, different local government can make their own facility in different location. It may be linked, functionally linked, but they do not do that. But we can make it in one location, so function is linked and then much better. So, and as you can see in right-hand side of the table, figure, at the urban scale, the complexity concept involves integrating residential, business, and commercial functions through a mixed land use approach in major urban areas. This type of complexity can enhance, first, spatial efficiency, second, promote business and employment, thirdly, improve citizens' convenience, and also increase operational synergy. At regional or intercity level, the compact and network strategy aims to connect peripheral city to central hub city with a focus on enhancing transportation network and developing various sectors such as manufacturing, logistics, culture, and tourism. We can connect cities in nationwide and linked, and we targeting the compact and networking system. This approach could be considered in countries with best territories and the dispersed population like Mongolia to facilitate balanced national development. In dealing with the future urban challenge, it is essential to actively utilize information and communication technology. Rather than rely solely on expansion, load expansion when traffic congestion occurs, a more effective approach involves providing real-time traffic information and guiding alternative routes to reduce congestion. This method can also be applied to address issues such as parking service, climate and disaster prevention, and the measurement of water supply and metering. You can see lots of smart solutions in each field: transportation, environment, energy, healthcare, welfare, culture, and tourism. This kind of solution is now almost developed in Korea. The smart city strategy can be expanded beyond the transportation and infrastructure to encompass various fields, as I mentioned. In the context of the smart city development, we can share various smart solutions among cities and countries. So lots of solutions can be, some are very detailed, but you can apply each cities by considering their own specific condition. For example, in transportation is public transportation information, smart parking, a smart bus stop, and the demand response for public transportation, etc. You can see more detail in the figure. To achieve sustainable urban development, it is crucial to have appropriate implementation mechanisms. Firstly, it is important to establish integrated urban and territorial plan that incorporate sustainable urban policies, strategies, and projects. And secondly, the effective financial measures are necessary, ensuring the effective utilization of limited financial resources. Thirdly, it is important to establish a robust governance system that integrate interdepartmental coordination in urban development along with a suitable legal framework. Let me conclude my presentation. changing circumstances demand new paradigms and strategies for sustainable development. Although the conditions and characteristics of each city and country may differ, by sharing knowledge and experience together, we can advance the sustainable development, which is our common goal. Thank you very much.
Now let's invite our next presenter, who is Professor Puruiten Ishu, who is going to introduce his presentation, Challenges of Opportunities, Urban Development in Mongolia Towards a Sustainable Future.
Hello, good afternoon, professors and students. And I'm teaching at Mongolian University of Science and Technology. Today I would like to discuss the topic on challenges of opportunities of development in Mongolia. And in the previous presentation, our two presenters already mentioned the kind of issue, problem, some other issues, and I will a little bit jump in detail and explain kind of the special analysis. Okay, the presentation mostly has two parts, and first of all is give a very general understanding of the urban development of the present situation. The secondly, I will mention some major projects which is held in Ulaanbaatar city. Okay, the country is a landlocked country just bordering with Russia and China, and we have only one major city. It is the capital city of Ulaanbaatar. It's shown in a red big dot, mostly in the middle of the territory, and the population is the 1.5 million. It's almost the 45% of top population. And if we're comparing with some other secondary cities, it's not comparable in population-wise, because secondary cities, it just seeing the percent, it's around 6 from 2 to 6%, and some other regional center in also very low population, and this means it's that the population density or increase making problem just Ulaanbaatar, and a lot of researchers and academians just researching in Ulaanbaatar when they make study in urban situation. And most of that the biggest cities in located in the north, because it geographically it's quite suitable location. In the south part, it's Gobi, and so it's the density, population density is very low. Okay, the total population, it's at the time it almost 3.5 million, and increasing the total population, the Ulaanbaatar population similar, still increasing. And if we see the statistic number in 1944, that urban population was very low, it's only 5% of whole. But in end of the 2020, it become 74. So why such immigration increased and it just coming in and to city? There are several reasons, and one of the main reason is the constitution, and the new constitution declared by parliament in 1992, and the chapter says the person can choose freely their living location. That's why this chapter, the possibility, so one of major the key to increase the population in immigration within country. And so another the Mongolian related kind of condition is that zud. It is the local term for the phenomenon. It's a very severe winter that kills large number of livestock. And who is living in the countryside, it's a livestock is just resource of living. But if they lose the livestock, is no way to survive. That's why the people just going immigrating or resettling in cities. The city have 6 districts, and the central city 6 districts in the inside the circle, and three are isolated. And so who is coming immigrating from countryside? Mostly those people coming in the central district area, and reasons are here shows the they wanted to increase the family income, and also they wanted to having occupation or the finding a job, and some of them wanted to living together with the close relatives. So a city, of course, have some satellite towns and villages, and the population increasing in many 6 districts. The municipality trying to make some policy or output finding, and finally decided to set up new city, and it named it New Zomot. It's already planned and infrastructure is under construction, because the city, the Mongolia, the Ulaanbaatar city got a new airport, and that new city just settling nearby airport. And also the private sector also wanted to establish kind of new city, and which here in blue color. But it is very nice proposal. The German team produced that design, and it named it Eco City, and it actually get that platinum certificate in the proper institution, but no investment. So it is kind of yeah, the private sector actually cannot do such a big development at the time. That's why it's stacked, and there are urban challenges and electricity supply. So the country cannot supply 100% electricity, and so we import some percent of electricity from Russia and also from China. Lack of infrastructure, of course, it is relating with the kind of economy in the investment. And yeah, I already mentioned traffic jam and social infrastructure. Okay, I will present in the following slides. Yeah, pollutions, water resource, and others. So some projects already introduced or introduced by government and announcing to public. For example, there is two big project, which are a new railroad connection and also new highway short connection. Why those the project come up? Because the the railway just passed through the urban area. So this connection just divide very strongly in urban area. It also produced the air pollution, and that's why wanted to connect to directly outside of the city. But finally, those the projects cannot come up. Is it because the investment is unclear? So kind of projects is introduced into public, but it's not effective. That investment, investment. So it's just leave in on a paper. And land use here of the city. And there is one interesting phenomenon of Ulaanbaatar city, and the people, the residents have two homes, and the one is just located in the city center, and other home located in the north in Reddish area, because people just own land there and build a house and stay there in the summertime. And this is maybe the idea imported from Russia, something. It was very few number in the socialist time, but when government agreed to gain own land freely, people just occupy the area and it extending of the urban lands. And in the previous, the first presentation already mentioned that Gir area is a large percent of land used in Gir. Gir mean it's a self-built housing kind of district, and structured, well structured. And so that immigration just coming to this area, and then they extend the land. For example, this is the result of research, and the morphology map shows the 15 years change, and in beginning during this 15 year, the land use increased 44%. So this kind of expansion actually occurring mostly in north fringe area. Okay, Gir area is a kind of urban shape, urban fabric. It's a Gir, maybe some of you know well, but this is a kind of wooden structure, the flat screen structure, and low cost. That's why the nomads, when coming to city, they just bring the felt Gir. And some also the people live in a self-built house, and maybe in the morning session already discussed about how this self-built house inefficient because though we don't care about that the building standard. That's why we just the build the shade building is not applying kind of energy efficient standard. So this is the housing fund. Last 60 years, the housing fund divided in two period. The first period from 1960 to 1990, the whole the 21% of housing fund built in this year. Rest of 70 in the next 30 years. This means in for the free market economy actually invest the huge money in building and housing. And that graph shows this is the first column shows the statistic number in 2004. If compared with this 2019, the whole number is increased almost 2 times. So this means the people who is living in urban area, the housing type divided in through the 3 types. Okay, this is the housing type. How many percent? I mean, it is apartment percentage is increased and others going down. And this is the newly developed residential area. The thing is, it's not kept the concept of the urban planning. And then during the construction, which built during in socialist time, they care about that social infrastructure, and it using that neighborhood unit planning concept. It's such a kindergartens and the schools just located inside of the housing, and it's easily to communicate by foot to home in some other daily activities. But in a newly construction, it is just promoted by the private sector. They wanted to gain more and more profit. That's why they don't care about that urban open space and also some other state service buildings. They just change the function and just build the mono use. It's a single residential use. So, for example, this area is very dense, but no such social infrastructure. That's why parents just bring their children some kindergarten or school by car. That's why this is just increasing the mobility number, and they stuck in the peak hours. And there is some statistic already made in the person. They spend almost 4 hours per day inside on the road. So it's not the good condition for residents. Yeah, and there's some highlights: needed holistic urban development and environment, development and approval of comprehensive urban development law and legislation needed, and so on. Then in the second part, I just introduce one big project, and so a lot of kind of problem and issues accumulated in UB. Why? Because it's a monocentric. Because after 1990, we didn't care about the infrastructure. That's why it's all people just wanted to buy land or invest in nearby city center. It's make a jam there. So in the future development, we cannot survive. So that's why we should to set up in the sub-center in different location. So in the city master plan, designated 6 locations in a whole city. And so according to the concept, the municipality, the Mongolian government took 2 loan from ADB. The first one is Urban Service and Area Development Project. It started from 2010, and such a so-called yellow so-called area, mostly already constructed some infrastructures, and based on that condition, infrastructure, the second project just starting this kind of affordable housing program. And so those the initiatives or development will give the good opportunity of the Ulaanbaatar residents in the future, I guess. So concluding all of the presentation, there are several issues and problems and things going like that. But beside this conclusion, I would like to say other thing, some additional thing. This is okay. For example, in this symposium, every person, most of the presenters discussing about kind of database result or a kind of activity doing here and there, some other countries. And so for us, it's quite very difficult situation because kind of data is a state property. We cannot use it. We don't have such an open database. It's very limited. So when we doing some study or research, we should find to a useful database for own. It takes time actually, and also sometimes it's we cannot find the proper one. So regarding this ESQUAD project, we would like to just set up, initiate a kind of database gathering, collection, and analyzing, and maybe it will give the good opportunity for our researchers and students in the future. Thank you.
So I would like to invite our last presenter, Ms. Ulaanbaatar, who is Director of Asian Infrastructure Research Institute. She is going to introduce his presentation, Building Sustainable Urban Transport in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia.
Good afternoon. Congratulations for organizing first Korean-Mongolian Urban Forum in Gyeonggi University in Suwon City. And I am honored to stand before you today, discuss a transformative vision for Ulaanbaatar's urban development, urban transportation, together with Korean and Mongolian researchers. It is crucial that we address the growing challenges of urban development, urban mobility with a sustainable, inclusive, affordable, accessible, resilient, and innovative, intelligent solutions. Today, my presentation focuses on 4 main sections, including brief discussions about current situation of urban development and urban transportation, and also assessment of sustainable urban transport index for Ulaanbaatar. The second section is future outlook of Ulaanbaatar urban transport, highlighting public transport strategy. The third part is regulatory and institutional framework will be discussed. At the last, there's some conclusions and the recommendations. The current status of urban development in Ulaanbaatar covers various aspects, such as environmental challenges, economic factors, social issues, and urban transport problems affecting urban development and shaping today's Ulaanbaatar. Firstly, environmental factors. Ulaanbaatar is known the coldest capital city in the world. This extreme cold significantly impacts the city's infrastructure and living condition. And also, environmental pollution is another pressing issue. The city experiencing high levels of pollution, which is seriously poses serious health risks to the inhabitants. Then, beside a $1 billion national program initiated by the president, but still there are lack of greens in the city, which is impacting environmental challenges. Another issue is of flooding, and flooding is due to infrastructure mismanagement and poor urban infrastructure system, which is leading to public health problems and affecting the daily life of the city. And when we look at the social impact, so 46.7% of all Mongolian residents are residing in Ulaanbaatar. This population concentration has led to several social impacts. One is population concentration, which is affecting numerous challenges to related housing, public services, and resources. And also in unequal education system and insufficient education, insufficient school problems, creating mainly for commuting related transport traffic congestion problems. The third is also urban culture. As Dr. Purvirden has mentioned, there was many in-migration from the rural to urban in seek of good jobs, better education, and better life. There is a need for balancing tradition with the modern reforms of urban culture to learn our rural citizens to migrating Ulaanbaatar. The fourth is governing bodies and legal environment is always important for urban development and plus urban transport challenging to make effective governing bodies and the legal framework. Then another factor is economic factors. Ulaanbaatar is contributed 64.6% of the Mongolia's total GDP, which is also primarily service-based city, and it's also cultural and scientific and industrial center of the country. The leading urban development challenges in Ulaanbaatar include uncontrolled urban sprawl, and which means rapid and unplanned expansion of the city leads to inefficient use of land and resources. And also the structure of Ulaanbaatar is monocentric. The city development is heavily centralized, causing congestion and also over-reliance of the city, and also inefficient engineering infrastructure. Outdated, inadequate infrastructure hammers sustainable development. If we look at the urban transport challenges, we have a vehicle growth dramatically. The city is experiencing an increase of old vehicles, used vehicles from Japan. It used to be importing from Korea. Now it's changed to from Japan. And also our regulation is left-hand sided steering wheels, but those vehicles imported from Japan is wrong-sided steering wheels, and also have diesel, some of them hybrid, but in vehicles, engine and the fuel is gasoline and diesel, which is also impacting negative impact on the environmental pollution. And another thing is also the previous session, she mentioned that insufficient paved streets in the road network, because paved streets are only allowed to have in public transport section, public transport. So it's our paved road density is only 2.4% per square kilometer, and mainly is dense in the central part of the Ulaanbaatar, and also inefficient parking, and also traffic congestion and poor public transport services. So this is the snapshot of Ulaanbaatar, how it's, so we are still doing many improvements to support active mobility, and besides, unfortunately, some is geometric design is not following the standard. And we have a lot of traffic congestion, and also the extreme cold weather. It's a waiting for a public transport services difficult. So this is showing sustainable urban transport index calculated in 2018 and 2021, according to the methodology of the UNISCAP. So there is 10 measurements, and then based on these 10 measurements, we could assess Ulaanbaatar's urban transports, what is the situation, and then what the next step should follow. So if we look at this spider diagram, and we will see that investment in public transport system is low. So the last year, Ulaanbaatar city is importing a new fleet. Before that, there was no investment since 2009. So our public transport fleet with no investment, just only improving some bus stations. So that's why investment in public transport system is also a leading role to having low CUTI index. And also is air quality. Air quality seems like from 2018 to 2021 slightly improved, because there is a unprocessed coal burning in the Gir districts is prohibited. carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide is declined. However, sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide is increased. So public transport quality and reliability is also slightly improved, and traffic fatality is a little bit improved. However, the rest of the indicators is become low. So therefore, CUT index overall is decline. So based on this spider diagram, will show assessment of where should be various aspects of the urban transport, highlighting strengths in area need to be improved. So urban transport's main issue is public transport system. Public transport system is the veins of the urban transport. So the city is to grow and evolve, so to must our approach managing, improving our urban mobility. So our currently public transport network is includes buses, trolleybus, and then taxis, and also informal taxi services. So, which is some bus operating companies are state-owned, some of them are private-owned companies. And then some private-owned companies, they have a fleet of less than 50 buses, which is also inefficient operation to coordinate integrated public transport services. And also public transport services network has overlapping routes. And so optimizing overlapping route is also one of the main issue of current public transport system. We also utilizes smart card electronic payment systems, and this smart card electronic system is introduced by Korean T-Money company. So, however, this year, I think municipality of Ulaanbaatar is going to stop the contract with the T-Money company, and then there's some negotiation to end the contract. And also the city wants to improve this electronic system. But I believe also this smart card electronic payment system provide a lot of insightful data about the passenger flow, operation management, execution of the operation of the bus, and bus management system, and also performance of the public transport services. So we use a lot of smart card data for the research. So hopefully the next, the smart card system data will be more detailed information will be provided. Then another challenge is inclusivity. So inclusivity the public transport and urban transport should convenient to all types of road users. So unfortunately, our bus station, our road conditions are inconvenient to disabled people and elderly people. And so safety and service quality issue and poor infrastructure maintenance is also a leading issue to be participate all users in the urban transport. Then another issue is aging bus fleet struggles to meet the transport needs in a rapidly growing population. And since it's 47% of the total population living in Ulaanbaatar, our current condition needs a mass transit system introduction to Ulaanbaatar's urban transport. Then traffic congestions, I don't want to be say it again, for everyone is know what is the conditions right now. Sometimes we're stuck on 0 speed with couple hours, and also average speed is approximately 8 to 12 kilometers per hour. So this is example from the smart card data. So if we look at the daily initial boarding, it's around 500,000 daily journey. And then if we look at the cards with the paid and then free trips, and approximately 54.4% of the total cards are only paid trips. And then approximately 30% of the cards are free trips. And then also paid and free trips are together with 16.1%. So it's public transport services actually the local government service to the citizens. So anyway, this all the seniors, disabled peoples and officers are doing their duty, and then donors are they have free journey in the public transport system. It's approximately 30% of it. So if we look at the daily trips per car, 20.6% of the daily trips are on 2 times trip. And then 13.1% is only 1 type trip. So which means the people less travel public transport. If it's necessary, just only 1 time traveling, not constantly traveling using the public transport services. Another interesting, the graph, this is showing AM and PM peak boardings in all routes. So if we look at just Chewan, this is along to the Inktavan Avenue, which is also known as the Peace Avenue. So major boarding is Inktavan Avenue. So it's the smallest boarding is Bayambur in Tingis area. So it's this is the showing how many passengers are boarding and public transport. Another issue of a public transport is fare evasion. Because we introduced the smart card system, then people want to travel free. You know, there is a designated people are traveling free, but many people pay for the drivers, or we call the rabbiting. The rabbiting means just free of charge, sneaking, not to pay and go for the riding the public transport services, which is also affecting fair income of the public transport system. So this is real-time data. So Dr. Purvirden wants to initiate that wants to have an integrated platform and sharing the research and then database system. So this is the database system we developed through the public transport strategy project and the World Bank project. We are cooperating with Far East Mobility, and then our Far East Mobility is company made a unified integrated platform to show many GIS database. So one of this database is collected from the Google map for speed of real-time speed data for Ulaanbaatar. So if you look at the speed, red is AM and then blue is PM speed level of the certain areas. And then mainly if we look at this, we are all in the red, yeah, so which is always congesting. So another one, it's a boarding. So mainly if we look at our passenger flow in origin and destinations, These are going through along the Inchtavni Avenue. And also transferring is at the end of the end of the section of Inchtavni Avenue is also transferring passengers. And also, okay. So since we have this public transport issues, and there's Ulaanbaatar wants to introduce mass transit connecting high demand areas. One of the project is going to start as metro project of Ulaanbaatar, currently JV of Dova Engineering, Korean National Railway, Korean Railroad Corporation, and Susun Engineering won this procurement project and going to start this project. And but the urban development planning for 240 is introduced LRT, but maybe this project should cooperate or integrate it, whichever section is important. Another mass transit is under the ADB project. This is BRT projects, 2 routes are introduced, but there's still unclear either this BRT will be built or not. And also ITS upgrade system is very important. If we integrate ITS upgrade Ulaanbaatar, it will definitely reduce the traffic congestion and also safety, improve the safety, and also improve the environmental pollutions. And in this project, the Sangom Syscom and also Asian Infrastructure Research Institute, we are working together, World Bank project for upgrading ITS system of Ulaanbaatar. So public transport strategy is very important. So it's for a long term should be the 15 to 25 years. And then based on our strategy, we should develop the long list of the action plan, of which prioritized action plans will should implement within medium and short period of time. And then if we introduce the strategies, it should be measurable. So these are potential measures to implement what would be the current and after the implementing of the public transport strategy. Definitely without the regulatory and institutional framework, all the strategy and plans shouldn't be applied. So currently Ulaanbaatar has the several policy documents, and then urban development general plan for 240 is drafted by Urban Planning and Design Institute of Ulaanbaatar. However, this plan is not approved yet. So if we approve all those important policy documents on time, it will be also effective for the implementation. This plan is already prepared in 2021, still not improved. But recently also another Dogwa engineering, Dogwa designer is another Korean consortium is granted for improvement of this general development plan for 220, and then proposing to approval for state Great Khural by October of this year. So last, our public transport framework should be fast, should be frequent, should be reliable, and has appropriate capacity, goes where people want to go, people want to use, affordable and financially sustainable and integrated and environmentally friendly. So we want less use of a private car. We want to use more of public transport, which will help our urban transport enhancement. The main goal is green, resilient, inclusive development of urban transport is the concept to build future Ulaanbaatar's urban transportation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your great detailed presentation. So our keynote speakers are already presented their presentation, but as a last, I would like to invite Professor Jae Young Kim, who is the Executive Vice President of Seoul National University, for the last closing speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so pleased to meet my Mongolian colleagues here in Seoul again. And I deeply appreciate my Korean friends who are organizing and participate in this event, the Korea-Mongolia Urban Forum. I would like to remark the 25th IUSAM Organizing Committee. They led the Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum to be held and conjugated here together. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate their support. 20 years ago, Seoul National University and the Mongolian University of Science and Technology started a joint seminar. Small Action was expanded and developed to the S-Code project sponsored by the KOICA and the Korea-Mongolian Urban Forum. This forum collects urban experts from governments, industries, and academia, not only from two countries, but also across Asia. And it would provide a valuable platform for collaboration and innovation. We are planning a new platform, the Northern Urban Forum. Northern countries, including Korea, Mongolia, Russia, Moldova, Belarus, over 14 countries will be invited. The Northern Urban Forum aims to create employment opportunities, drive economic growth, build strategic national partnerships, and share Northern culture. Your continued interest and support are greatly appreciated. We know that if we want to go far, we have to go together. Finally, I wish all you have a nice time and a good memory during this event and in Korea. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the Professor Kim Jae-young. Now it's time to wrap up our first Korea-Mongolia Urban Forum. I would like to invite all the audience to the stage to have a great memorable group photo. Please come to the stage, all the presenters and audience.